I hate that countdown thing. It really messes me up because I got to push buttons. Stupid. But whatever. Anyways, what's up, historians? Welcome back to another great episode of Historically Haunted Vodcast. As you guys know, we're in our third season. Our first year, a couple years back, we started on Fridays, mixed and matched a couple days of the week. You guys want Fridays back, so this week we're back on Friday, which is killer. Shout out to actor Donnie Green and his wife, him and his wife, Bauer Green Logistics, trucking company, Trucking LLC. They are the sponsors, as well as their family member, John Green, Greene Logistics Company. Donnie Green, as you know, is the actor that drove the red truck in Pet Sematary, the original one, that one that killed Gage, who was singing the Ramones and he hit Gage. He's the actor from that. I'm actually his manager now. He's going to have some autographs coming out soon, meet and greets and stuff. So message the page for that. Also, our weekly sponsor is Obscure Research and Investigations. That is, they've donated a little bit of money here. They're going to be sponsors for a couple of weeks, so shout out to them. They're doing a lot of great work. Obscure Shutter Photography and that whole crew, they're all doing great work there. So, okay, so enough butt kissing. Love you guys, though. Shout out. So we're broadcasting right now in Maine. My guest is a New England man, too, or at least he is right now in Connecticut. We're having severe thunderstorms. There's a little bit of a lag, a little bit of a wah, wah, wah. Bear with us. If he or I go off, bear with us. You know what I'm saying? We're not Mother Nature here. So let me tell you a little bit about Thomas Patrick Gormley. The Archangels of the Paranormal. Dude, this cat is wild. If you guys know me, you know I love my history. You know I love my stuff. And I'm going to bring him on and let him talk his whole spiel anyway. But if you follow him, which you should now after the show, he is a wealth of knowledge. He's not just in this to just go, hey, look at me. I'm taking a selfie in front of this graveyard. He'll digest who was there, why they were there, if they're still there, and what's going on with the whole place. And he's talking about the little town places, not just the big shit. So let's just, I'm getting excited. He's got his drinks. He's got his spirits ready. Let's cheers him now. 3, 2, 1. Thomas Patrick Gormley.
Yay! Ooh, I got to get it in camera.
We
favorite glorious weirdo of all.
I was just going to say, welcome, my glorious weirdos. He goes, hello, my glorious weirdos. I've been watching your TikToks and Facebooks for months. Welcome, brother. It's been a long time coming. How are you, man?
Great. So appreciate it. So grateful for you to have me on. And I just love what you do. And I think the energy is just awesome. Fantastic.
Larry says, hey, Tom.
Larry.
Awesome for checking in. John Bernier, a long time. He's been listening to like almost every episode. Fighting cancer up there in Washington, Seattle, Washington. What's up, John? You and your beautiful wife. Thanks for tuning in. Dude, John's type of people where if he likes you or if you're on my show and respect, he'll follow you. He'll buy your merch. He probably already follows you on YouTube. So anyway, Thomas, I'm going to ask you the traditional question. It's like how I start my show before we get rolling. And that is, brother, when and how did you get into this field? No one's born to go, I want to look for spirits. I mean, some of us are, but for the most part, what got you in? What inspired you? What did you see something? Was it someone?
I think my whole life, growing up, I always felt other energies, but didn't know why. Nobody was there to teach me how, growing up in the 70s and 80s and all that. And it was 1987. I went to a speech at Central Connecticut, and there was Ed and Lorraine Warren. And I went backstage to meet them afterwards, and Lorraine skipped everybody and came right up to me and said, "You've been having issues you want solved." And we talked for a while. We became friendly. I've been over their house over the years, and I think she really helped me develop what I felt and able to deal with it. And I think that really changed my life there. And I felt honored that, I was able to have a friendship with them over the years. And then from there, it just grew, I got
to stop you for a second real quick, if you don't mind. So 87, we're talking before Annabelle. I mean, they weren't really known then. How'd you find out about them? Of course, living in Connecticut, they're kind of the staple there. But
Connecticut, we know a little bit more, but I grew up in Southington, Connecticut, and that's the haunting in Connecticut happened there. I actually lived maybe about a mile from the house that was in the movie or their case and all that. And I think
it's an old funeral home, the White House. I've been there twice.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. So, yeah.
Oh, if I'd have known you were there, I went there last year. I went by there with my friend. I said, I got to stop in Southington. And then me and Heather went for the first Warren con. We got a hotel there, and they go, it used to be a funeral home, and it's just a little white, modest house. Oh, if I'd have known you would have stopped by for a spirit. Oh, wow. So no one in your family? I was thinking maybe your mom or your grandmother turned you on to this stuff. Did you say you're an empath?
No, not
right?
really. I think my mom, her whole life, she was empathic too and didn't really know. And I think as we got older and I realized my abilities and all that, I was really able to have some deep conversations with my mom before she passed away. So just like your mom died, both my father and mother have passed. And I think it's when my mom passed, I really got back into the paranormal because I was in and out of it, just life going on. I was always in it, but I really dived in to help people back in 2012. So.
Okay. A lot of people go the other way, or a lot of people go like they don't want nothing to do with it. It kind of shuts them off because but you are like me. I want answers. Are we like atheists say and we just go into the dirt? Are we like some people say we reincarnate as a bird or a flower? Or is there a fucking big meeting space in heaven? I mean, I'd love to know, man. I look for the signs too. Wow. You're really grounded in there. Jody's checking in. Jody Kanowski, I hope it's in the right. Says,
yeah.
Hello, Tom.
That's my fiance. She's just saying hi, just so she knows we're around and she can see us.
All right, good support.
She's in the other room, trying to be quiet.
Oh, my girlfriend's downstairs. She'll time into. You have good support, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
we're crazy. We gotta have good support, otherwise we'd be locked up.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
she supports me really well. So
good. Thank you, Jody. Jody, you got a good man there. I tell you, dude. Like I said, I've never met you, and I didn't realize you're so close. We gotta have to meet up in Salem or something at some point. But
anytime, my friend, anytime.
Dawn Brown checks in. Dawn Brown, she knows a little bit of the Stephen King family too.
Awesome.
Her and her husband Jim Brown run Tombstone Paranormal out of Maine. They're big supporters of the show. So thank you for guys checking in. Okay, so that brings me to my question. Actually, being in Connecticut, I guess, have you been to Maine though? You must have been to Maine at some point.
Oh God! Oh heck yeah! I've been there quite a bit. I think, my ex-wife, her family was from Portage Lake, Maine, so we're like all the way up there in Route 11 and all.
Wow!
So we spent time. Oh yeah, so I know, and I think I saw a few concerts in Portland in the Civic Center there. So yeah.
Oh, back in the day, Portland used to have some big bands, ZZ Tops, Aerosmith used to play there.
And then one of my favorite places that Jody and I have gone to is Ogunquit. So that's always a nice little spot. So
Ogunquit is a very, it's right between, of course, as you know, Wells and Kennebunk, Maine. Of course, Kennebunk's George Bush and shit. There's a lot of pirate lore around them oceans there. There's a lot of pirate ghost ship lore, mermaids. I love me and Heather dying to see a mermaid. Take her home and some drink from there. I said, I'll run the bath for her. Let's keep you in the bath. So I'm going to ask you that. Oh, your old lady. I shouldn't say old lady. That's old school term. Your wife.
Yep.
Your partner is sending you a heart. I shouldn't say old lady. That's old school. It's offensive. So I got to ask you then, give me an American and an other country bucket list, a place you got to go. Maybe not so much to explore, or you can, but just a place, you've always been like intrigued by. Maybe you do want to explore, I guess.
Well, my background really, I'm a former prison guard, confinement unit at a psychiatric prison. So that's where I get a lot of the psychology background. And I think one of my big ones is probably Alcatraz. So I'd love to go there, not only just because of the history of it and the energy of it. So I got to go to places like that. But really, ultimately, I don't think anybody will ever be let in, but I'd love to do the White House. So that would be fantastic.
I watched a thing on Tubi the other day about it. They talked about seeing Abraham Lincoln's ghost and secret tunnels.
Yeah. But, outside of the U.S., I'm of Irish descent, so I'd love to go to Ireland, see all the old castles and all that. So that would
be amazing.
Because all the pagan ritual stuff is really where it started in Ireland, and that's where you want to go. So that's where it all really started. All the little theories and stuff like that. That's the history of ghosts and stuff, where it really started the lore that the tribes used to pass on to each other and all that. So that would be fantastic.
Well, we're gonna get to some good stuff here, guys. This is the glorious weirdo king. This is the rabbit hole leader.
Well,
this guy right here.
I gotta get my rabbit hole bourbon out.
Yeah, someone that can keep up. I'm not saying no one can keep up. My fucking brain's 100 miles an hour, and I got so much stuff, and I know you can keep up. Danny, real quick, Danny Perez. Ooh,
there it is.
Hold on, guys.
Buddy Danny.
Bring it up.
I just gotta say, I think I lost him, but I
No,
love
bring it. Bring your bottle
Danny
up.
Perez.
Yeah,
Danny
bring
Perez and
your
his wife
bottle up real
Lauren
quick.
are some of the best people in the paranormal. I love
They
going
are.
to the Paracons. We like to hang out. I help them at their place if they have to go do something. So
Thomas.
fantastic. And just so you know, one of my papers I did back in college in psychology was on serial killers. So I'm all into that. And Danny and Lauren actually own a fork that was confiscated from Jeffrey Dahmer's place after he was arrested. So it's just crazy energy on that thing.
Danny never told me. I know he sells like Ouija boards made out of coffin wood, and he sells cemetery nails, cemetery dirt, all that good stuff. But he's a collector of morbid shit too. I had no idea. Hey, real quick, Thomas, hold up that bottle. That's why I went away. I want everybody to see your bottle.
There it is. Oh, they're a little close. That's the rabbit hole right there. It's like my favorite thing to say at the end of all my TikToks, down the rabbit hole again. That's where we go. That's where all the info goes. That's where we got.
Love it. Real quick, John Bernier says my twin has been a correctional officer for over 35 years. I've always respected the blue. Absolutely, yes. Dude. Thomas, you've seen shit most people haven't seen, dude. I'm sure. I can't.
Yeah, I've being an empath and working in a prison was just crazy. You know, I did it for a while and all that. You know, crisis management stuff like that, and yeah, I still have flashbacks to some of the times down there and some of the things that I've seen. So it is a crazy energy you're locked away with them for 8-12 hours, depending on your shift. So.
They see you're like family. They see you more than anybody. You know what I mean? And you don't, but at the same time, you can't trust these bastards. They love you, but they'll shank you. You know that.
Well, yeah, they have 24/7 to get one over on you. So that's the concern. It's mentally draining. Probably the most mentally draining thing I've probably ever done in my life.
I believe it. So I guess chasing ghosts in graveyards and haunted houses is nothing compared to what you've been through. And when you think about it,
not. It's funny because after almost 40 years of this, I don't freak out very easy. I still jump, you know, hey, you're still going to get scared a little bit, but
you're human.
I know what it is. I embrace it, and I want to make sure that whatever's there, that my partner and I could help it, whatever it is, whether it be an angry or anything. I've really got to tell you the truth. I've never come across a demon. I just think we manifest that into existence when we have our own demons and all that. So
that's few and far between. Yeah. I think most bishops and and people say that if you're an asshole, pardon the language, but if you're a jerk in real life, you can be a jerk as a ghost. People go, oh my God, he pushed me. He's a demon. No, he's just an asshole ghost. Demons don't have time to mess around with every little Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I agree with that. I want to go down the rabbit hole real quick. My sponsor's checking in. Donnie Green.
Hey, Donnie Green.
His truck driver from Pet Cemetery. Nice hat. Thanks, Donnie. Love you, man. Appreciate you. So Thomas Patrick, let's talk about your partner right now, unavailable overseas right now. But let's talk about what she brings to the table and stuff.
Well, my partner Jenna Beth and I met about a year ago, but we've both got our starts with Ed and Lorraine Warren. So she used to go to back when she was 16 because she's a psychic medium. She had a near-death experience when she was younger, and that's really where she figured out that she had these abilities after. And so trying to figure out what they were, she got in some classes with Ed and Lorraine, and they would send these guys out when they were trained to go check out places because they were so inundated that she would go out and check a place out to see if it's something that Ed and Lorraine needed to go check out themselves. But she got so freaked out that she's like, I'm not doing this. So years go by. I met her daughter through some friends, and her daughter has that type of ability and picked up on my energy. Said, you really need to meet my mom. And we met and we hit it off, and we decided, well, let's get together, let's do something and all that. And not even maybe a week later, we got our first case, and it was the murder house, probably one of the craziest cases I've ever been involved with. But Jenna Beth is, again, she's a psychic medium, but she's also her professional practice. She's a psychotherapist. She's also a hypnotherapist, massage therapist. She practices. She's a Reiki master with all the energies and all that, and she practiced her psychic mediumship up in Lilydale. Also, no, Lilydale, New York is where a lot of the psychics. It's like a psychic town, so it's something you should check out. It's pretty crazy history that they have up there.
Professor X was there, the X-Men.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. And so she does shamanistic practices too. So she has the So I mean, we have a whole consortium of everything she has and what I have. When we come together, the energy is palpable. I mean, us together, we read off each other. I could be sitting here not having a good day, and she out of the blue calls me, like she knows. And the same thing I do to her. So we have that connection that you need to be able to do this to help people. And with her psychology and mine and all that, we do things differently. We don't do it like everybody else. It's not a ghost hunt. It's not a whatever. We take our client and the spirits and we put them on the proverbial couch to figure out what's going on, how we could help them, and if they want to make the decision to cross over. You can't make people cross over. I don't care. It's like right now, if you were a smoker and I said to you, you need to quit smoking, I could give you the words, but you personally, as a spirit or a person, need to make that decision.
It's like that in life and death. Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow. That's astounding because there's a lot of folks like you guys out there, but very seldom do they find lightning just hit. Here's the thunder. Oh boy, it's back here.
It all happened here because it's like crazy looking outside right now. So,
I love how what I was getting to is that like it takes forever to people to kind of puzzle in, and you guys kind of got that connection, and at the same time, which is great, you're doing fun things, but at the same time, the key word is helping people. People come on here and they bullshit, but you guys legit do home cases, right? Yeah. You guys legit will help people that, of course, need it. You give them, make sure they're not, they want attention, druggies, all that stuff, but you make sure they're legit. This thing, and you go in to help people. That's rare.
Well, that's what it is. I think we're all moving towards that because what Jenna Beth and I do, nobody else does. I know there's some people that but we do things so differently than everybody else. We've thrown the rule book out, because the rule book isn't working to help people anymore. A lot of times we go to places where investigators have been before and can't help. So we get called on to fix it. So we're like the fixers in the area. When things don't go right, the worst cases, the hardest cases, we're more than happy to go in and help people, because we've gone to places where somebody's caught in like 3 different, and they're at the end of their rope and they don't know what else to do.
But that makes it worse for you,
resort sometimes.
Thomas, that makes it worse for you because now they've opened up a can of worms and they're like, oh, can you mop it up? I mean.
Yeah, we got to figure out what energy we're dealing with, the people that were there or the actual energy that's causing the disturbance. So I've said it before. I know a lot of people investigate a lot of places over and over and over and over again. But the theory behind that is you're putting your energy and your intent into it. And what happens is you leave that intent there. So technically, if you leave enough energy there and you go to investigate the house maybe a year later, you might be haunting yourself. So
yes, there's footprints. We leave behind energy where we go, dude. It's like metal detecting in a way. And you're right. Sometimes, wow. And down the rabbit hole we go. Get your fucking drinks ready, boys. Take
you're better because you opened a can of worms when you got me on this show. So
and I was looking forward to this. You've been sharing, you've been promoting, you do yourself anyway, but you've been sharing the show. Most people come on the show, they go, am I on tonight? I go, what? And you've been sharing for a week. And I respect that because I mean, this is a show. It's fun. But at the same time, I want a little bit of respect, man. It's like, what the fuck? You're coming on, but you can't promote it. But you're all about that, and I dig that, man. We're going to get way into it. We still got about over a half hour. Where can people find you on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook? You have Archangels of the Paranormal don't really have a page, I don't think, yet.
No, we're actually working on it. We're putting some stuff together. Right now, where they could find us, I do a lot of social media, of course, TikTok, Archangels of the Paranormal. Instagram is not a big thing for me, but I am there. Facebook, Thomas Patrick Gormley. They wouldn't let me change my name to the Archangels.
Well, I mean, as long as people are respectful, you'll take friend requests from people as long as they're kind of,
whatever they need. And, again, like I want to probably make a quick announcement that Jenna Beth and I will be doing a little mini Paracon called the Para Experience in Meriden, Connecticut, at a very haunted old building where they house the Meriden Art Society, Gallery 53. That'll be on Friday the 13th
of October.
So it's going to be pretty
Friday
crazy.
13th of October this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're going to have
I've been to
crazy fun. There'll be VIPs that'll go on a ghost hunt with us. Other than that, there'll be a meet and greet. There'll be vendors there and potentially some special guests. I don't know yet. One of them might have chimed in earlier, but I'm still waiting on what they're going to do. I think they have a speaking engagement that night, but I don't want to put pressure on them. But it'd be love to have them there. They're, again, some of my favorite people in the world. But there'll be vendors there. There'll be tarot readers, psychics, stuff like that. It's going to be crazy because that place, I've investigated there before. There's potentially a portal at this place of things moving in and out. There is a person that several psychics have picked up on that was murdered by bludgeoning to death. And he had mental issues. He was a street person, curled up and died in the basement of the building, and he hasn't been able to move on. So if you come to this, Jenna Beth and I are actually going to attempt to help the spirit make this decision if he wants to move on, that nobody's been able to do yet. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be going online pretty soon. There'll be advertisements for it, and check it out. I'll be posting it very soon. So if you get to go to that experience, I think it's going to be a big one. It's not going to be one of these ones you go to all the time and they let you play with. No, this is going to be pretty serious, and it's going to be probably mind-blowing if we're able to do that and you get to experience what Jenna Beth and I do that nobody else does.
I like that. And I like that you're not going there to antagonize them or just bring them on display. You're actually going to get this guy's help him, get him free, right? I mean, why don't people do that more often, Tom? You think it's just because the spectacle, they love coming back and seeing the guy at Rolling Hills, that big entity? Oh, well, here, no one tries to help these spirits. Why? I've gone to St. Albans in Redford, Virginia. They go, don't try to cross the spirits over. I go, why? Because they get money.
Yeah. A lot of places, they don't want somebody. Well, Jenna Beth and I have a hard time with some of these places because they don't want us to come. They don't want us to move the spirits along, because it is a moneymaker, and I think that's ridiculous. These people deserve, some of them don't know they've passed, and they need to heal whatever is holding them, because some people, they were just jerks in life. Like, we had a case where a boy was getting scratched and couldn't figure out why, and come to find out he had psychic abilities and didn't realize it. He was a young kid, like only 18. He doesn't know. Come to find out, there was a spirit in the house that was desperate to get his attention, because when you have the ability to see, you become a beacon of light. And we found out that this gentleman was sorry for the way he was in life. He was an alcoholic and begged us to help him. And he asked us to put daisies on his wife's grave to say sorry. And we were able to do that and help him. So it's intense. I mean, we had cases that I sit here and I tear up just, but being there at the time, you're so invested, and, they deserve the same thing like we do in life. If you're going through a hard time, somebody's got to be there, put their arm around you and say everything's going to be okay. It's just because they don't have the shell anymore doesn't mean they don't deserve the same respect.
God, Thomas Patrick Gormley from Archangels of the Archangels of the Paranormal, or Archangels, however you say it.
Wherever you're from.
This cat is and as you know, dude, unless you're like Zach Bagans or whatever, you don't get a lot of money in this field. You don't get a lot of notoriety. A lot of it is just literally for yourself and to help people. I mean, it's like a firefighter. You don't get a lot of, oh, look at this, who's checking in. Hello, I'm sorry, Gene Tewksbury. Hello, from the International Cryptozoology Society Museum in Maine. Lauren Perez, Mrs. Perez, Danny,
my girl,
driving around their hearse. What's up,
Love
guys?
Her.
Danny, I admire you and your partner's focus on helping those on the other side. Danny says to you.
I appreciate you and your wife too, Danny. So can't wait to see you guys again soon.
Danny's good people. He donated to my book, and he's every time I go to a thing, we hang out in back of his hearse. We pull them over in our police truck. My girlfriend Heather's got a police truck, black and white, Hampton Beach, and I was back in the hearse there and stuff like that. So that's cool. If you need anybody at the Paracon, Heather's selling her witching trinkets. I got stuff. I'd love to go. We don't charge nothing, dude. If you just let us set up a table, sell some stuff, and talk. If you have any room, we'll take them to Connecticut, dude, in October. That'd be great. The show can go off.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, that would be great.
I'd love to meet you guys. And God, let's talk about your state, because as you mentioned, in my opinion, I love Gettysburg. I love Salem, New Orleans. I've never been, but I hear it's great. But as far as a whole state, Connecticut, Tom, you agree with me? The most haunted state in America, correct?
For me, it is. And I'll tell you, hey, the Warrens are here. The Warrens Museum. I know Tony, my friend Tony Spera is still running it. Dan Rivera, all them guys.
I got a piece of Lorraine's jewelry. Yeah. Monroe, Connecticut. Yeah.
Yes. And, Johnny Zappis is down here. There's so many things. A lot of the equipment that you use was invented here in Connecticut. So the Mel meter, all those types of things. There's so many stories that go beyond it. But there was cases of people during, the consumption and all that other stuff, and everybody was fearing everybody died. And in Griswold, Connecticut, they would bury people and cement them in because they thought they were all vampires.
Yes,
exactly.
The vampires. Yep. They put bricks in their mouths and shit. Yes, and they put some.
One of the first vampire stories was in Connecticut.
Yes.
And the first witch put to death before the Salem witch trials was in Wethersfield.
Anna.
And so it's crazy. So
Oh my God, I love this man. He's
so
like,
much
I don't care.
stuff here. You got all kinds of asylums here that have shut down. There's ones you can't get in anymore. But I mean, melon heads, all kinds of different crazy stuff. Oh yeah.
Take a drink. You said the word of the day. I want to get into
the melon heads. Yeah, take a drink.
Take a drink and then answer this one. Where do you stand on monsters as melon heads, Mothman, all that shit? Do you follow that stuff? Do you fancy that? I gotta
say that everything is intertwined. Cryptids, UFOs, paranormal, it's all intertwined. I think it's all just in a whole. Everything has some kind of meaning. Everything's like together. I got my friends of mine, I don't want to name drop, but friends that I've known over the years, Greg and Dana Newkirk. They did the show Hellier. If you want to know how these things intertwine, that's what you want to watch. Hellier.
I've heard of that. I've never seen it, but Hellier, yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing you'll see on TV. Forget all the paranormal shows and how they have everything set up. This is the real thing. Watch Hellier, and then you'll know what going down the rabbit hole is all about.
Oh, cheers to everybody out there, because we got a half hour to go. And it's 8:28, so we got a half hour to go. We're going down the rabbit hole now. Let's digest this guy's brain a little bit. So as I followed you, Thomas, of course, you're all over the place, and I love it. You don't take a day off like me, because you take a day off. It's not that we need to promote ourselves, but we love what we do, right? People go, you post a lot. I go, well, if you don't like it, don't follow me. Fuck, I don't care. I love going to places. I love to go into unknown. You went to a place recently. Please jog my memory. A place where a pirate was hung, and there's a bar there, a hotel or something in Georgia, I think.
Well, my daughter just graduated from SCAD, which is Savannah College School of Art and Design. So she was an animation major. So she does all the logos and stuff for the company. So she's fantastic. Hey, if you need anything, let me know. She's not working right now. Still trying to find a new gig and all that after graduating. So if you need something, she'll be more than happy to help you out.
You heard that, guys. This will be on YouTube tomorrow. Share, promote. You guys support independent.
She's fantastic at what she does, and she's very quick at doing it too.
She'll find something quick. Smart girl.
Yeah. But I was down in Savannah, and me being the spooky dad that I am, I had to stay in the most haunted hotel while I was down there. 1,790 in, of course. Crazy. It's been on a bunch of shows, but I'm not going to go down to one of the most haunted towns. That they built the town on their dead. It's just nuts with the yellow fever, everything. I did an investigation at the Moon River Brewing Company. While I was there, they had it all set up. The thing that I always get crazy, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I know these people, they're making money, they have people come in and all that. But it got to the point in the night where they introduced the Estes method, and they just told people randomly, hey, you want to try it? That's something you don't just want to try. There's an intent behind it. You go into a meditative state, you put the headphones on, it's not.
What? You want to try it? It's not dowsing rods.
If you're not into the paranormal, you don't know how to protect yourself, I think I wouldn't be giving people the ability to do that. So I kind of chimed in. I wanted to tell people while I was there. It's funny because when I was there, some people recognized me from social media and they wanted to hear what I had to say. So I told them, I said, listen, the Estes method is not for the weak of heart. You know, when you go under, you're inviting something in. You need to be able to know how to protect yourself and what's going on. So I explained it to them and, you know, who came up with the method. And then, you know, hey, if you still want to do it, that's, you know, it's up to you. But I wanted them to know that I just, you know, these tours that they do, you need to know what's going on. You need to know how to protect yourself. And a lot of these people that run these tours, if you're watching this, please keep those people protected, because, you know, they go home and then all of a sudden, guess what? I'm going to their house to figure out how to help them. So, I don't mind it. I don't mind staying, you know, helping people, but I don't want to have to help them for the wrong reasons.
And it leaves marks. A lot of these people need therapy after, and God, you know, it's not. Thank you for saying that. It's yeah, you know, and think about it. A lot of these are rebel soldiers. You know, I read an Atlas Obscura. It's a big site I watched. There's in the airport in Savannah, Georgia. There's 2 tombstones in the grave, like laying flat.
Oh yeah,
in the fucking runway. Yeah.
It's crazy, but
George Acosta.
Yeah, I want to get to the main question. There's George. Hey, George, buddy.
George, I'm using the camera. You sent me the Logitech. You can see it's not as grainy. You see my beautiful face. George sent me a camera.
I know. I saw that. That's fantastic.
Good dude.
Yeah.
It's a thunderstorm, so don't help. But what was that question you got?
So
for me, you mean?
I don't know, but I think with what you were asking before was the pirate house. There's a pirate house down there where, you know, that was the inspiration for Treasure Island. And back in the day, it was a bar. If you got drunk, they would knock you out and Shanghai you out to sea and make you work on the boat. So that's kind of where that all happened. Right by the water there in Savannah. It's nuts. The energy there is fantastic. The food's actually really good too if you get down there. Yeah.
Hey, let's steer away from the ghosties for a second. What's your favorite type of food down there?
There were some places that, you know, my daughter and her boyfriend living down there all that time, there was some good stuff. You know, I mean, the food's good down there.
Seafood?
Not really. You know, I think, what was it? My daughter's boyfriend had something. He's a foodie. You know, he's very picky. And there was a place we went, and he had the chicken and waffles, and he says the best chicken he ever had in his life. And that's saying a lot, knowing how picky he is. And so I forget what the name of the place was, but there's some great places down there. It's very, I don't want to say it's a touristy area, because I really didn't feel that when I was down there. It didn't feel very touristy, even though there's a lot of people in town that weekend for the graduation of the college. But yeah, I mean, just everything was in walking distance, and I got to go all around all the haunted places. You know, I went to St. Bonaventure Cemetery. You know, I'm not a cemetery person. They're already dead. I don't need to help them. But it's just one of my things that I do is, I don't know if you ever heard of the second death. Have you ever heard of that?
No, like tuberculosis.
Well, the second death, your first death is, you know, when your body leaves your shell, your soul leaves and you die.
Yeah.
The second death is when nobody ever says your name ever again. So when I'm in a cemetery, I like to read the tombstones so they know have their second death. It's my way of helping out.
And see someone like you and me that can recognize this. As much as I'm not trying to diss anybody, California's like, we got 1800s on my bro. We got 1600s. I mean, we got people from the Mayflower buried up here. We have people whose ancestors, 15th fucking grandson, don't even know who they are. You go to their gravesite, they didn't have a marker there. No flowers in centuries. And it's nice to go by. Like I mentioned to you earlier that I saw on Atlas Obscura, there's a guy in Connecticut that got killed and he's buried for having a beard. His monument's his face with a beard. And then there's, I think, what else in Connecticut? There's the Union Cemetery, which Ed and Lorraine talked about the white lady. They wrote a book, Graveyard, I got.
Yes.
And me and Heather went there, and Heather got a white blob and a mist. And there was, Connecticut's loaded, dude. I mean, loaded. They had, what's his face Dave for a while? Who's the treason guy? I said it to you earlier, but now I'm buzzing.
Benedict
Arnold Day, where they hung him through the streets. Mystic Pizza, Mystic River, lighthouses, Revolutionary War. There's so much there. Washington, Trump, the aliens.
Well, I even talked about it. I even talked about it because where I live, I go on a walk every day. I go 2-mile walk. All my historical walks is actually where I walk. It's a little stretch on Worthington Ridge. All the things I've been talking about are on a stretch of road in Berlin, that history, less than a quarter of a mile. George Washington, Ben Franklin, there's just crazy history. The Yankee Peddler, all in this one street in Berlin, Connecticut, where I live. It's amazing. I feel so much energy when I walk up on that ridge. It's just makes my day. That's my morning. That's what I do.
God, I love this guy. I'm so glad I had Tom on my show. So is that where that dude, the family lived with the white church? Is that next to you too?
Yeah, that's what I talked about today. This guy was he was at the church and all that. He bought this house right next to the church. He was the third pastor of the Congregational Church that was built literally a few years after the meeting house, because the meeting house had an issue that almost burned down. So they decided to build this church. So this is like late 1700s, early 1800s. And 3 of his kids became prolific writers. I mean, Peter Parley was, famous for children's writing. This guy, that was his pen name. It was Samuel Goodrich. He ended up becoming a senator in Massachusetts. And then his other son, Charles, a children's writer, everything in its place, a place to keep everything, with that big quote that we've always heard, and his daughter, Abigail, started one of the first women's magazines about motherhood and how to, be a mother and all that. And it's like I said, eat your heart out, Cosmopolitan. This is like the early stuff. This is the stuff that excites me. And this is the stuff nobody knows about. And I like to put it out there, even though it may not be the spooky stuff or anything like that I'm into, but I love history. And history for me is time travel. I'm big into time travel, love Back to the Future, anything with time travel, because it really corresponds with the paranormal. I've had theories about time travel with the paranormal and everything. So
I got a question for you. Goddamn. Well, first off, I love your energy. I love your thought knowledge. Like you say, like I was into, that's why I say Adam the historian ghost hunter, because I look for the history in anything, movie filming sites, in the invention of peanut butter. Like I don't know like every detail, but I try to look for shit. You're, God damn, I could go another hour and a half. We're going to have you back with your partner. Real quick, we were just saying, how do you feel about this rabbit hole? Get the cannonball loaded. Get that fucking gunpowder in there. We're going to let the fuse
jump it out.
So supposedly, some people think that Bigfoot is the past us, aliens are the future us because they're hairless.
Yeah,
and we're in the middle because Bigfoot's a Neanderthal.
I'm going to put it on that
connection.
I'm going to put.
Let the fuse go.
I'm going to put it this way. One of my friends, I'm going to name drop again. Sorry, but I got my friend John Tenney. Tenney and I get together, like there's a group of us that get together like up in New Hampshire like once a year. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it this year, but we get together and we'll sit up until like 5 a.m, drinking our drinks, our spirits, talking amongst the fire at the Mount Washington Hotel about weird theories. But Tenney will tell you that you think about it this way: our past, our future, it's all in the same timeline. Our past, Neanderthal man. Who's to say that Bigfoot isn't a ghost of a Neanderthal man? And then our projection into the future, who's to say that the Loch Ness Monster isn't a ghost of a dinosaur? So that's things that he's brought up in his speeches. And that's something I firmly believe, that we have to look at that side of things, that why can't we catch Bigfoot? Maybe he's just a spirit. He moves in and out of different dimensions. It's something to blow your mind. I think
what if he's the ghost of a goddamn caveman Neanderthal? Because they say that back then we were giants. We were 6 and 7 feet tall. We've shrunken over time to 6 and 5 feet. Oh, you son of a look at that. Is Jean Tewksbury. She's the big cat chaser, chases pumas and panthers.
Yeah.
All that stuff. The Cthulhu. I worked with her for a little bit at the New England or the International Cryptozoology Museum, the only one in the world. It was on Jeopardy with Lauren Cohen. They chased Sasquatch, the Dover Demon, Loch Ness Monster, all that shit. Wow, that's crazy. All on one street. That's referring to Thomas. Thomas lives, I guess, it's a historical district, what we would call it.
Yeah, I live in the dead center of Connecticut. It's Berlin, Connecticut. I think it was established in 1785 as a town, but before that, of course, there was more stuff going on. One of the oldest homes, of course, is 1733. But, you know, that little ridge that I walk on was the main area where all the businesses were until the Berlin Turnpike, or 5 and 15, what they call it, was built in the 40s. But everybody would come up. That was where all the main hotels were, where George Washington visited. There's still a 2-foot high cement or like sandstone marker for the post office that Ben Franklin came up with. So, yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of history on that ridge. This whole town, Yankee Peddler, like I said before, it's nuts. So
in Middleborough, Massachusetts, is the Oliver House, Louis Oliver, and Benjamin Franklin. There's a closet there where he found the notes of treason, and we went there on a couple of people have hung themselves there. The guy that invented the light bulb or some shit was there or something. Danbury, grown there, George, dude, message
right up the road, like about a 30-minute drive from where I am. Yeah.
Thomas, you got my fucking head spinning. You got me lighting cannonballs.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but you talked about the Oliver House. I did an investigation there a little while ago. There was a fundraiser going on, and a lot of people don't know the history of the Oliver House. When they lived there, the people that owned the home actually had a munitions factory that they owned. And the Sons of Liberty cornered them and forced them out of the house, said, if you don't leave, we're going to kill your whole family. And they left. They took over the house and the munitions factory. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have won our freedom, because they used all that ammunition to arm these farm people to fight the British so we could gain our independence. A lot of people don't know that. That started there at the Oliver House.
I was told that he lived on the ridge and he built that for his son. There's an Indian burial ground on the land. People hung themselves. Yeah. I didn't know anything about that. Yep. So how'd that help us then if he was forced to leave? Because the ammunition was for the farmers, right?
He left, and the Sons of Liberty took it over, and they took over the munitions factory. So they gained all that ammunition because the guy that lived there supported the British. So they kicked him out so we could take over and get all that ammunition we needed to load our weapons to fight and gain our freedom, independence from Great Britain. So, yeah. Very important part of history that a lot of people don't know. Those are those little things that people don't talk about, that they forget about, and people don't know, and it's important. This is our history. This is our past. It's that time travel that helps us learn to help people and go forward. So.
I love all my guests. I really fucking do. But this cat is me. Thomas, man, you get well, like, it's not about selfies and goddamn, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, I'm the king of selfies, but it's about finding out that lore. Like, I love to know where bubblegum was made, or me and Heather, where we went. Guess where we went? Where the hamburger was invented in 1895, Lou's Lunch.
Oh, I've been there.
Yes. Yeah. Don't ask for ketchup.
Lou's Lunch in New Haven. That place is great. You know, there's a lot of stuff that was invented here, you know, Lou's Lunch, but also in Meriden, where I'm going to be doing the fundraiser investigation on October 13th, the steamed cheeseburger. So that was invented there too. So that's like they steam the cheese and the burger. It's just a total awesome experience.
Dude, get at the table in the parking lot. We got to come down. I'm going to bring my goddamn car down from Mount Katahdin, and I'm going to drive down there. I live right between Derry, Maine, Bangor, Maine, and Mount Katahdin. Right now, actually, in Orchard Beach.
Yeah, I know the area. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nothing. There's wild rabbits, there's falcons, there's rednecks on four-wheelers with the shotguns. But you know what? It's pretty chill, man. My weed plants are growing. No one gives two shits. I work at my place. I go home. I have a cookout. No one really. It's pretty chill. But I would love to come down there and meet you guys. Maybe set up a table. We'll talk more about that later. I'm not going to put you on the spot. We got about 20 minutes to go. If you don't mind, we'll go a little over because you're interesting as hell. And what is one place? I know you mentioned America, but give me some more places you got to go. Do you like the old? I can see you being like the old West ghost towns, digesting the cowboy saloons and stuff. You into that?
Oh yeah, I got some really, I got a really good friend, my friend Rianne. She lives out in Arizona, so she's doing a lot of good stuff out there. She's a psychic medium and all that. I forget what hotel it is that's out there in Arizona that's pretty haunted.
Billy the Kid stay at or something?
It escapes me, but she does a lot of stuff out there, and the Old West, I love it. I'm a huge fan of Old West lore and all that. That's where a lot of energy comes from. It's just the history of our country, the different stages of it, and what we get to. But the Old West is always great.
It's open.
You can't
Your
get better
mind's
than
open. You're not just down to one thing. You get it. You get the civilization of the Pilgrims. You get the Revolutionary War. You get the Southwest. You get modern time stuff, Texas and stuff. Shit. We're talking to Thomas Patrick Gormley. He's all over YouTube, all over TikTok. Archangels, but it's Archangels of the Paranormal, coming soon over every place. You got any books or movies or anything you want to do in the future? Write your own book, do a movie?
I really do. I think for my hit on before, Jenabeth and I, my partner, our first investigation together was the murder house. That was just such a crazy investigation. I would need a whole show for that. I mean, I could talk about that for hours. Just everything that happened there.
I'm dying to know what went down there. You keep saying
the murder house. The murder house, we got called out, and they were having poltergeist activity happening. Their basement door was opening and closing to the point where they had to push the couch against it. So it shadow figures in the background. So when we did our research, we found out that this house had a person lived there with his wife and 6 children. And he had boarders that lived next door. They worked tobacco fields. So he was out on business in New York, come back, found out his wife cheated on him with one of the boarders. He bludgeoned her to death in front of his 6 children back in the 1920s.
Oh!
So we get this information, but there's a lot of other people that live there. There's renovations that were done there. So where the kitchen was now like a back room, and that's where they kept seeing the shadow figure. And I mean, when we went in, Jenabeth and I picked up on, I think it was probably like 7 to 8 spirits in the house, and trying to find out what was going on. So I had an SLS camera going, so that picks up the green stick figures and all that. So supposedly it's picking up on energy, so we know there might be something there that we could talk to. So I'm pointing it. All of a sudden, 2 stick figures come up, and one looks like it's bludgeoning the other one, like it's reenacting the murder. And I said to it, this happened in the past. You can't do this anymore. And I think the other one became really angry, started hearing bangs on the wall as loud as 22 gunshots.
Holy
crazy. Jenabeth was hanging onto my arms. She's like, this is our first investigation together. I thought she was going to run, but I had her hang in there. We hung in there, and it's the bangs are going on. We have the figures and all that, and I'm trying to talk to it. And finally one leaves, and the other one's just kind of dangling there. And I said to it, if you're the woman and you don't want this happening anymore, I'm going to reach out my hand. Just touch my hand, and you don't have to be here anymore. You could see the stick figure reach out, touch my hand, and disappear. It was intense. And I mean, even when I talk about it, I tear up, because that's what we do. You got to help people move. They don't know that they could do it. If you don't do that, if you just go in for bullshit reasons, and I mean, it hurts my heart that some of these people are still around because you just want to make money and all the other stuff.
You did know Lorraine Warren. You did, because you got that. And why not? It's not about show and TikTok likes. It's literally about helping motherfuckers, because, pardon my language, because wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want someone not making money and little jokes about you and actually helping you, Tom?
Yeah.
I mean, what you're doing is a service, man. And of course you have fun, all these other places you're bringing into. But when it comes to a case, I don't see you posting anything ever about personal cases, because it's none of our business. You post your fun stuff, but personal cases are exactly that, dude. So honestly,
all of us post evidence and all that. Posted evidence. I never tell where the place is, the names of people that it's their home, because I need to keep it private. I don't need some crazy people just rolling up on somebody's house after they hear, you know, what goes down there. But, you know, that murder house was just crazy. And the crazy thing is we helped clear that place out. It was quiet. And, you know, they literally emailed us, said, we haven't been able to sleep for years. You're finally able to sleep. Great. A year later, they called us back because they're deciding, you know, they had a little falling out, the roommates that lived together, and they decided they wanted to sell the house. And then shit started picking up again because they wanted to sell the house. Like the spirit didn't want them to leave. So there was like huge knocks going on every 3 hours for 3 minutes. So I said, do you need us to help you so you could sell the house? And they're like, no, we're not going to do anything. So the realtor decides, all right, you know, I'm bringing some people. The realtor had no idea what happened in that house. So she brings people in and they go down into the basement to go look around and all that. As they were down there, a disembodied voice told them to get the fuck out. Over and over again. They went running up the stairs and the spirit disembodied voice says, you're going to fall. And the guy fell up the stairs. And I'm like, oh my God, this like going on. The realtor had no idea. She purveyed that to these guys and they called us. And I'm sitting there like, that's crazy. But I almost started laughing too at the same time. I was like, you know, you should have called us in and this wouldn't have happened. He's like, you're trying to sell your house. But the crazy thing is they call us like maybe a few days later, they ended up selling the house. I can't believe the realtor went back in there.
Not those same. Oh man!
Give her all the credit in the world.
I guess we're going to have to disclose that shit.
That got yelled at, the people that got yelled at and all that. I think maybe the spirit said these aren't the right people. So let's wait for the next.
They didn't buy it; it was someone else.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I was saying, if you actually bought that, you're either one of us or you're plumb crazy.
Yeah, I'm waiting to maybe hear from the new people. Who knows? They don't, you know, maybe they'll see this and realize, holy shit, I think they're talking about our place.
Wow. So, yeah, man, honestly, dude, like, I love your stuff. I love how you broadcast things, your humor, the rabbit hole, glorious weirdos, all that shit. But honestly, dude, Tom, to really get to know you and to know what you're about as a human, and that's big because I saw my first entity at 9 years old. My grandfather walked me to the fridge in Lisbon, Maine, where Stephen King went to high school. And he walked me to the fridge, clear as day, my mom's dad. And I kept it inside. I saw my grandfather die, my other grandfather at 14. I saw him vomit right in the hospital, his eyes, everything. So I've been around death my whole life. And I think it's refreshing to know that someone's not trying to make a goddamn buck off every fucking thing. Sure, writing a book, if you want to sell, do your stuff, or maybe, like me promoting. I don't mind people that want to give me money to promote. That's cool. I take the $10 and I put it into my registration or my Wi-Fi, whatever the fuck. But I'm not going to get rich off this. I don't expect to be. But at the same time, if people like it, people tune in, and people give me cameras, fucking that's great. And with home cases, me and Heather have done home cases here in Maine. Some people don't know where to turn. I've done a walk on the trail. The guy gave me a bunch of weed. I go, I wouldn't take money, but I'll take your weed. He gives some weed, homegrown weed to go walk around his trailer. But I helped them. They go, since you left it helped. They go, shit. But you've worked with Lorraine and Ed Warren. You've seen them out close. You know stuff people don't know. That compassion comes in big time. Being a sensitive with your partner and stuff, I think that the spirits see that. Do you agree?
Yes. I think when you're sensitive, you become a beacon of light. You're the candle in the darkness. People are stuck and they're looking for that candle. And
positiveness.
Your intent. I'm going to say it again. And a lot of people, if you want to get involved in this, your intention is the most important thing. Listen, when you investigate or do anything. Without the right intention, you're not going to come up with a solution. That's bar none. You
make it harder for folks like Thomas if you do.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to end up calling us anyways because, I mean, I don't mind helping people, but please don't go into something thinking that you're going to be able to do good if you're not with the experience. I tell people over and over again, nobody's an expert in this field. It's paranormal.
Ed said that. Ed and Lorraine said they're not experts. They would admit we're not experts.
Yeah, and the people that say they're experts, you got to run the other way because the thing is there's experience and all that. experienced so much stuff in the paranormal. Am I 100% right? I don't know, but I am willing to go the extra mile to help you solve any issue that you have, whether you be living or whether you have passed.
Fucking glorious weirdo.
Yeah.
I love this guy. Danny Perez says yes. You get the respect of Danny. You get the respect of me. I love Danny.
Yeah,
Danny's a good friend.
best.
Danny does say the type of cheese on the steam burger is said to be a secret. Oh, God, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I used to go with my mom. She used to be the head secretary for the state police when she was in Meriden. I go visit her, and she'd take me to get steamed cheeseburgers when I was very little. Yeah, really great memory. I'm glad I was able to bring that up. Love my mom.
Oh, You've done so. You and your family, just you alone, being with the security and everything, and of course the correction officers and officer. You've done so much, and of course now with the public. Me, dude, as someone who's never met you, can I say thank you from me and my audience? I have no reason to kiss your ass, Tom, but I really do. I wouldn't bring you on. You didn't ask me, come on your show. I asked my guests because I want to look for the ones that are like, why me? I'm like, you're the right. That's why. That's the answer. I want you to go, well, this and that. You were like, yeah, sure. And of course, your partner was going to come on overseas now. I think around Saramon or Salomon there, Halloween, we'll get you guys back on.
It'll be a perfect time. I mean, I got to tell you, bud, you're one of my favorite people.
Don't bullshit me.
Stuff. No, I don't bullshit anybody. I'm a black and white person. I have no gray area. Either I like you or I don't like you. That's just the way I am. I have no time for BS.
Good man.
I'm too old to BS anymore, my friend. Your energy, the Stephen. Even I just wanted to talk real quick. The Stephen King stuff and all that. Love it. One of my earliest childhood memories. I think I was 7, 8 years old. My parents put us in front of the TV. I think it was 1978 to watch Salem's Lot. We watched the series, and I mean that freaked me out. That was my first scary experience, and I think I really embraced that. And I think that's another reason why I kind of got into this, where nothing really freaks me out anymore. I think that's the only thing that ever really freaked me out. I think it scared the shit out of me so bad at a young age that nothing really freaks me out anymore.
Well, we said it before. You're like, I'm really not scared. So that's your first King moment. Mine was The Shining.
Yeah.
With Salem's Lot, with the vampire, it looks like Nosferatu almost there.
Oh yeah, they did it. They did it just like that. I mean, I know they're remaking it. Hopefully, they do a good job with it. They keep delaying the release, but I'm actually looking forward to that. But that kid at the window, I think
flying on the second floor and is flapping like a vampire.
I know. I think for weeks, if I heard a tree hit the window, I think I shit myself in my bed. It was just crazy. But Stephen King is the best. He could take just 2 words and scare the living crap out of you for the rest of your life.
I tell you, you know what? Like I tell people, I used to be obsessed with the Chicago Bears, and I love my wrestling. I've been to the headquarters in Stamford, and I do. But when I was 8 years old, when I was 6, we moved to Lisbon, Maine, not Lisbon, Portugal. Across from Lisbon is Durham, okay? And that's significant. Real quick, we're a little bit over if you don't mind.
Oh, right ahead, man. We could go for hours if you want.
Oh, fucking, I love that attitude. You're not a fucking Madonna. I know it's Friday, but fuck off. So when I was 8, my mother was up in this little trailer in Marumbo, Maine, named after Chief Marumbo, a native in Lisbon. I can go on for hours about how crazy it is. And that's where I saw my first ghost. Well, this isn't the same night. Excuse me, beer.
Nice.
That was rude. I wake up. My stepfather's gone hunting, shooting deer. My mom's watching the original Shining. She goes, "Do you want to stay up and watch it?" My first horror movie. The girls and the fucking closet the elevators with blood. And she goes, "You're going to go to the same high school Stephen King went to my senior year in Lisbon High School. Go Greyhounds." Lisbon, Maine. Yes. That's the high school for Durham. Stephen King was there. History Channel was there doing documentaries. My librarian's got a card. Stephen King checked out the book, and he's got the card in the plaque. That's Stephen King went there. And I've been, you know what? The dude's been with the same wife. He takes care of his kids. He lives in the same state he grew up in. He donates money to books. Fuck off. They can be better role models. I go find them. Stephen King's a great role model. So here in Maine, I've been to the filming locations. I've been to his house. I've been to Pet Cemetery. Donnie Green sponsors a show, and that's cool because King Okay, we're gonna go off a little bit. What's your favorite movie besides Salem's Lot? What's your favorite? Like, if you read a book, what's your favorite like closest movie to book for King for you?
Okay. I know a lot of people like the
I
spooky
love
stuff,
King. I got
but being a former prison officer, I love the Shawshank Redemption, or Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption. If you read the little short story, they turned it into this
haven't
huge
read it yet.
movie. I love it. I could watch anytime it's on TV. I'll watch it. Doesn't matter what point it's at. It was just so well acted. I love Morgan Freeman, even though the character in the book was an Irish guy with red hair, but they made it work. They made it work, man.
I didn't know. It's a black dude.
Yeah.
I love when he goes, some men working on the roof, some cold suds, and he don't even drink. Want a beer, Andy? He goes, nah, and he just. Oh, what a great answer! It's
But
not your typical King, but that shows you the what.
Yeah.
Well, look at New England. Look at Maryland.
Even
Edgar
the Green
Allan
Mile
Poe.
too. The Green Mile too, and all that. You know, oh, just great acting, great stuff, great stories. Stephen King to me is the greatest storyteller of our generation. So
you guys can stay in my spare bedroom. You come to Maine, come to Bangor. I'm 45 minutes from Bangor. You and your wife stay in the bedroom. We'll go to Dice Hearts, have breakfast where he thought of Maximum Overdrive, aka trucks. Then we'll drive to his house. We'll stalk and gawk him for an hour, and then we'll go to the pet cemetery and all that shit. Well, you guys ever come to Maine, man? I love the paranormal, but I want to branch out. I like filming movie locations. I like history. I don't want to just seclude myself and see, like with you, it's Archangels of the Paranormal, and of course you do stuff for people, but you're all over the spectrum, brother. You're doing historical significant things, right? You don't box yourself in.
Everything's connected, and like I said, I'm a very firm believer in time travel, the paranormal, anything, history, anything like that. I always had this theory about paranormal and time travel. Einstein said that light bends, so light is time. So as we go on, we have three things. We have the past, we have the present, and we have the future. They're all running on the same timeline. If light bends and light is time, light could bend from the past into our present, creating why we see residual stuff. In the future, why we see the future things. So it's a crazy theory, but there's evidence with that. You know, I've seen things that I thought, okay, I've seen this before. Whether you have that feeling of deja vu, it's like things bending that have already happened for you.
You don't follow that bullshit. The things happen in like dreams, subliminal stuff. When it's like, oh, I thought we were gonna. Yes, and now the rabbit hole we go. We can go a little bit over. Fuck everybody. You guys want to keep watching? We still got 9 people watching. That's pretty good. We've had about 15 people on and off, but 9 people solid. So you believe? Do you believe that things happen? Are okay? My mom, God rest her soul, she believed that we all signed contracts where we came down. That everything is pre-planned. Do you believe in that sort of route? Like if someone gets stabbed, they pre-picked it with their stabber, so to speak, before they came. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It would probably take a while, but just really quickly, some friends of mine from high school, we all got together and we got into this conversation. They always pick my brain, but unfortunately at the time they were all drinking wine out of a box all day, and then I joined them up after.
Been there.
Oh yeah, wine in a box, baby. And we were just talking about life and like people that have passed, our loved ones, and what happens. Do they reincarnate and all this other stuff? We really got into it, and me being an empath and all that, I really got into spirit. I forgot the whole thing why I was there, and I talked to them to help them heal about past loved ones and what goes on, and they still talk about how I blew their minds and just changed their perspective on, all right, if we do pass, we end up in something else. It could be the next dog that you get. Could be a loved one there to love you again. You know, you keep going on. The energy's there, and the energy decides to jump into the next thing to be there with you. You're connected over years and years and years and years and centuries. When love is there, love stays forever. Whether it be in the next dog that you have, the next person that you meet, the child that you have, could be, you know, a grandfather that you really love. Who knows? We don't know. nobody's 100% right. Nobody's 100% wrong about the paranormal and our theories. So that's what makes it so exciting to look at.
Energy don't die, though. And we're fucking energy, brother.
Yep. Energy never dies, man. You can't get rid of it. Scientifically proven. Where does it go? Hey, jump into something else.
Stop making sense. Stop making so much sense, Tom.
I try, you know. Oh, who knows? Hopefully somebody out there, like I said, you know, I'm the type of guy, it doesn't matter. If I could touch one person, that's fine. 10,000 people, it doesn't matter to me. Again, you talk about the money. I love the paranormal. I love learning. I love going down the rabbit hole. I love helping people. It really doesn't matter. As long as, you know, especially when we do these home cases, when these people say they haven't been sleeping in a year and they finally call me later and said, dude, thank you. I haven't been able to sleep in a year and now I can.
Priceless.
Worth it. You know, my partner and I, we love it. It's just we're so dedicated to it to make sure that people have that peace. But I do a lot of the TikTok stuff and all that. I want people to learn history. I want them to look at the paranormal in a different way. I want them to embrace it in a different way, the right way. That's why I go on it. You know, I'm an older person. I really don't. This TikTok, I'm not good at any of this crap. But as long as I could get the message out there to help people, to learn stuff, to think a different way, to get outside the box, I think that I've done what I needed to do to help people.
Dude, are you kidding me? You're fucking thinking about the show, like, get your cheese board or whatever. Get your cheese board and your favorite
charcuterie board. That's like the big thing. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God. I got goosebumps. I got to share this and save it.
I think the funny thing is when I was coming out of high school, learning what do I want to do with my life and all that, I got into physical education, athletic training, and on the psychology and all that. But the thing is I really wanted to get into radio and all that. I really love that type of stuff. I find myself doing that type of thing on TikTok and all that now. So it's kind of, I'm living that other side of my dream as I was growing up, just to get the word out there, to appear, to educate, to make people aware of, you know, I love what I love. If you love it with me, fantastic. If not, you know, oh well. You know, but I'm still going to do it.
I'm going to ask you something I've never asked anyone. If I give you some dates and some guests, like 3 or 4, would you be my co-host?
Sure thing, man. I'll be on there with you.
I like the way we talk.
I mean, we would be like, have some crazy fun. I mean,
I think so.
The rabbit hole is so bad.
I don't ask anyone live, and I think you, with your knowledge, like, you're not reading a script. You don't got pieces of paper. You're knocking off things.
Hands free, baby. This is all up in the noggin. As long as you know, I'm still young, but as I get older, hopefully it doesn't go away. That's why I'm going to have to probably try and do a book soon so I don't forget it all. So.
Let's go about 10 more minutes here.
Yeah.
I knew it. It's always at first you get it going, and then by 10 minutes left, you're like, I got another hour's worth of shit here. I usually end the show with this, and it's not quite done yet, but I'm going to ask you. You got a question for me, Mr. Co-host?
Let's see. I mean, no other stuff. I really want to. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Let me choke on my pretzel. I'm sorry, I got the munchies. I'm stoned.
I can't be there to give you the Heimlich, so be careful, dude.
Heather's downstairs. She ain't gonna run up for nothing.
Yeah, there you go.
So long story short, and Heather goes, it's never a short story. I'm a talker. That's why I got a show.
It's okay. That's what you gotta do.
My dad's father, the one I saw die in front of me when I was 14, it was on his birthday, and I saw his eyes roll back. He looked right at me as he died. I swear to Christ, don't get me crying. He looked at me, the whole thing vomited right in the hospital. St. Mary's Hospital, which is Kingdom Hospital, where Stephen King went to when he got hit by a car reading a book on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The guy that hit him on the side of the road died a year later on the fucking day. He's buried, and I've been to his grave. I'm going to go take some pictures next time.
That's a bizarre thing right there in itself. So don't mess
with the master. He died a year to come on, dude. King didn't
don't mess with the master. So that's some weird karma right there. I God rest the guy, but it's probably an accident. But still, man, that's some messed up history right there.
He hit King and he died. Come on the anniversary date of the day he hit King, he died. I know. Come on, Tom.
That's the synchronicity of all synchronicities, man. So,
What was the question again? Shit, I'm stoned.
Your favorite wrestler?
Okay, that was way off subject.
That's okay. It was still some cool shit.
So I saw my grandfather. My French grandfather, when I was about 4 or 5, my dad would bring me over and he'd watch wrestling. He'd get the magazine, Brutus Beefcake, Miss Elizabeth. He'd go, come on, referee, hit him, turn around, smack him, 1, 2, 3. Oh, referee. In French, he'd just go off. I loved Hogan. I loved Warrior. But once Undertaker came out with the coffin and the body bag and the urn, I don't know why. I've been obsessed with the other side, kind of like what we're into. But I'd say Undertaker. I love Bray Wyatt. I like Alexa Bliss. I waited for 3 hours to meet her and just get her autograph and give her a hug. My girlfriend hates her. But I met Ronda Rousey. Ronda's great.
I love Ronda Rousey. That's my hall pass.
She signed me a Universal belt. My mom, I brought my mom to Bangor. Long story short, she's never short with me. And we saw Stephen King's house, my mom's first time, literally 8 months before she passed away. And we went there because she loved Roman Reigns. And we got a picture of her, me, and Chris and Heather, my girlfriend Heather, with Braun Strowman and Ronda Rousey, The Miz, Liv Morgan, a bunch of people. And my mom rubbed Ronda's leg, and the security goes, "Don't touch her!" And they almost got my mom. I go, "Oh, you touched Ronda Rousey's leg," and that was. So I'd say Undertaker. I like Bray Wyatt. I kind of like the dark side, I like heavy metal. Yeah. Negative, Black Sabbath, White Zombie. Is it wrong to like dark things? Do you think? That's why I like Undertaker, right?
I think if you embrace the dark. You learn about it and how to counteract against it. So if you don't know your enemy, you can't bring the light to somebody. That's kind of the way I look at things. So you got to know. A lot of us in the paranormal have been at our lowest lows and our darkest darks, and knowing that is why we're able to help people. So that's pretty much it. But talking about wrestling. Talking about wrestling, I wanted to tell you because I talked about it before. Growing up, my father was an audiovisual coordinator for the Southington school system. So back in the early days of wrestling, they would come to high schools and do wrestling matches. So when I was really young in elementary school, my father was doing the sound for, wrestling. They had it come to the high school.
No way.
I mean, I got to meet all these wrestlers backstage, and one of my favorites I really liked, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. There was
Lauren Perez says Superfly. It's in UKA. We'll give you a hall pass.
Hell yeah, Lauren. Superfly.
He did the dive off Madison Square Garden before these fuckers did things. His wife is.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Yes, his daughter Tamina Snuka's a wrestler.
Really? I didn't know that. That's awesome. She jump off the top rope too?
She gives a love sign right at the top. She's a big wine girl.
I used to love it. I mean, I'm going way back where, meeting George the Animal Steel, the fabulous Moon Dogs and all that. Crazy story was they were backstage, and me and my friend were walking, and he was on the payphone. This is going way back. One of the Moon Dogs was on the payphone, and I think he was just messing with us, pretending he was talking crazy with somebody. And he left the phone hanging. We picked up, and there's nothing there and all that. These guys are just fantastic. They just put on a good show. I used to love wrestling just so much. It's part of my childhood, and anything in your life, whatever it be, all these different people experience, it all leads you to where you are now. It makes you who you are and that type of human being.
People go, it's fake, right? I go, yeah, so's fucking Superman, so's Batman, so's the Transformers. You guys like your shit. I like mine. They donate money to the cops, the troops, the handicapped kids. Every time I've gone to a wrestling event, I always meet a wrestler for free. I get a Universal belt signed by $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. I met him in Massachusetts at Calhoun Restaurant. I waited for it. I was first in line. I go, I've loved you. I remember when you paid Andre to take the belt off Andre the Giant.
I met Andre the Giant there was back when I lived in Southington. They were doing a opening of an Eblin's clothing store, and Andre the Giant was there. You could do a meet and greet. So I'm like in elementary school. So I shook his hand. His hand was probably like bazillion size. It's just giant. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I mean, these are like, my heroes growing up and all that. I think it really shaped how I look at things. You put your heroes in high. Like, Lou Albano, Laura Perez. Yep. Had little elastics, appeared in the Cyndi Lauper videos. Yeah, Captain Lou, man. Yeah.
I'm not a super sensitive like my girl Heather. Shout out to Witch and Life Guide, Heather Kiminiti. But I can feel your glow through the TV, man. I don't just say that. I'm not being a kiss your ass, but I can feel if I had a problem, I don't know it all. I know how to talk. I know history, but I think I know I would call you and your partner in. You guys do house calls. Obviously, you got to be careful. Yep. And you don't expect money, but I'm sure if you had to travel somewhere, you'd expect some conversation.
We don't charge. We don't charge for the investigation, but
unless you're gonna go to goddamn Morocco.
There is expenses sometimes. You got to be real. There's expenses for travel. There is expenses for research and all that. But the actual investigation, you can't do that because you can't guarantee an outcome. So how can you charge for something you can't guarantee an outcome for? Thankfully, my partner and I have been 100% on our outcomes, for when we got together. But I've been doing this for a long time, and you just got to help people. You can't be creating more stress with a monetary amount. But if you keep it simple, you help people. That's what it's all about. That's worth all the money in the world.
Well, let me snag another 10, 15 out of you real quick. I got to ask you, Thomas, because you're just great. And I feel bad now because I really want to hit you with a hard-hitting question. We had fun, though, but I want to ask you some good questions now. What do you find is your favorite piece of equipment to use on a thing? Is it just like your mind and note paper? Do you have, like you said earlier, the thing with the stick figures? I
always tell people, equipment is equipment. Yeah, your body's always the most important thing. But when it comes down to it, I really like the SLS camera because something appears there and then it tells me that, hey, I might have an audience. Let's start talking. Let's start healing somebody. Yeah, I think that having that visual or that potential visual is probably one of the most important things to be able to have that one-on-one conversation to help somebody out.
Who goes through the tape? You guys must play like audio tape. You and your partner goes through that tedious.
I do most of that. She's so open to the paranormal. Her job really is to come in. She's the psychic medium and all that. She leaves herself open, and she probably puts herself in most spiritual danger than I do. But I'm more of the tech side. I'm not really that tech savvy, but I do all the listening and all that. And it's crazy because the funny thing is I'm deaf in one ear. I can't hear in stereo or anything like that.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm deaf in one ear, and I think I hear things differently than other people. And I think that really gives me a different perspective on the paranormal when it comes into hearing that audio type of thing. I might hear things differently than others, picking it up. So, and that really creates another aspect of the paranormal for me.
Wow. All right. StreamYard's giving me 10 minutes. Well, I just want to know before we go, and of course we'll have and it's on record, we're going to have you and your partner, or at least you, back by October, November. I'll give you some dates tomorrow when I'm not so buzzed.
I think I'm right there with you, pal. Look, little rabbit hole right there, man.
Look,
9.5. There you go.
That's my second one, 9.5. And I smoked a half a joint, and I've had a couple of pretzels because I got to fucking at least absorb.
Well, you got to have pretzels after a couple joints, so that's always helpful.
$1, fucking whatever.
Wait, hold on. One more. Sooner or later, they're going to promote me, man. So I keep telling everybody about Rabbit Hole Bourbon. They need to sponsor my shit or something. So
down the rabbit hole we go, glorious weirdos. I turn on TikTok, and between you and John Cahill, my friend John Cahill, who's married to Nicole, psychic medium, he plays guitar a lot. And then I got you with something, and you drop knowledge on me. And I don't need to know. I love Conjuring House. I love Lizzie Borden's. I love Madame Cherie's and the staircase in Salem, but you drop shit that I've never heard of. Which reminds me, actually, Madame Cherie's, have you been to Vermont or New Hampshire? Have you been to like Madame Cherie's or what's the place me and Heather went? Oceanboard Mary's house. You've heard of her? She was born in the
No, I've heard of the places, but really the only time when I go to New Hampshire, it's usually that once a year. We have like in November. My friend Amy does the Strange Escapes, and we go and a bunch of us weirdos go hang out in the Mount Washington Hotel, and it's always great because my favorite thing in the whole world is to drink and talk weird shit with John Tenney. You can't get better than that.
Mount Washington and North Carolina
is like there all the time, but Tenney and I stay up to like 5 a.m, and people stay up with us, and we just sit by the fire and like, I don't know, maybe we could out weird each other, but I can't out weird John Tenney. He's the king weirdo. That's,
Thomas, I'll have you up till fucking 6. Dude, there is so much shit I've seen from fucking, if you eat whale sperm, you'll live another 40 years. Seriously, they serve it in Portland at some goodie bars in Portland, Maine. Yeah. You got to come to Maine with me. I got to show you where Appalachian Trail is, where I've been to the, where Stephen King paid the minister in Pet Cemetery for the which was out. Right next to it is the grave of Georgie. There's a little, which is inspiration, and the grave of Carrie is right behind it. And he went there, and I've been there. I've been to the oldest sheep woolen manufacturing, 1821 Barnett Mill in Harmony, Maine, where fucking Graveyard Shift was filmed. The guy gave me a tour because I love
that shit. My partner and I, Jody, we went to Hawaii. We got to see all the, the crazy history in Hawaii and stuff like that. That's like, oh my God, that's like a once in a lifetime.
Pygmies or whatever they're called. Oh wow.
The what? Yeah.
What are they called? Pygmies or the little people? What are the little people called there in Hawaii? The little creatures.
I don't know what you're. Yeah, I'm not sure. Pygmies are always like the little, but the thing is talking about movies. I'm like, how many movies were filmed there in Hawaii? Like The Hunger Games, Jurassic Park, The Dragon's Back. We got to go see all that stuff. So I mean, just nuts. The rainforest is where they filmed. Hunger Games, and I mean, seeing all that stuff and probably the most paranormal thing that I've ever felt, just the energy, was being at Pearl Harbor on the monument. And you go out there, there was like 100 people on that monument, dead silence, as people were revering the dead, the people, what they went through. I mean, that's history right there. And I have videos of that silence, just people walking around and realizing what happened there. And I mean, I don't think I'll ever have an experience like that, knowing those people trying to save our country and what they went through and what we went through after that. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable history right there, that what we went through, and I got to experience it and feel the energy.
To capture a voice, to be able to capture an image. Like people go to Gettysburg and they can see people shooting cannonballs, like just to get that shot of an old dude shooting a cannonball that's not there. Can you imagine? Oh, I saw you.
That was Jody.
In the background.
He was walking by. It wasn't a ghost. Nobody worry. There's no apparitions going on.
We got 7 minutes left. What I want to say is, as far as that stuff goes, you come to Maine in Bangor. Al Brady, after Bonnie and Clyde and Dillinger was killed.
Ooh, Bonnie and Clyde, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, he was number 1 most wanted. Alfred Brady from from Indianapolis, Indiana, came to Maine to get Tommy guns at a Huntsy store, Dakin Sporting Goods. Now it's called the Briar Patch Bookstore. I bought Stephen King's fairy tale book there. I talked to the owner about it, made a video of my YouTube. And turns out, dude, he came to the streets. J. Edgar Hoover and them came to Maine, and they killed him in the streets of Bangor. There's a brick that says this is where Tom Brady, where Al Brady was killed, and he's buried in Mount Hope Cemetery by Carrie's grave. Come to Maine. We're going to run the spirit box, and you and me are going to do a YouTube TikTok video. Come to Maine, you son of a
fantastic,
glorious weirdo. Come to Maine. I'll put you up in a place to live for a night. We'll stay. We'll have a campfire in northern Maine.
Love
Please
campfire.
Maine,
my favorite thing.
Research.
Yeah. I got to have you come down here too, man. So you get the chance. So.
We both owe each other. Me and Heather would love to come down to Connecticut. Witch in Life guys sell her trinkets. I'll set up a table. I'll promote you. With 5 minutes left to go, Thomas Patrick Gormley, dude. We're both catching a buzz here on a Friday night. Both got thunderstorms going on in New England. What do you want to talk about? 5 minutes left to go. What can we talk about? What have we left out?
We talked about a lot of different things, but I tell you, I just want to tell people just more about you, that you love what you do. And I think that's what draws me to you. And I'm glad that you had me on the show. I think after all this time following you and all that, I think it's important for people to know, yeah, there's a lot of TV shows on, all this other stuff. But if you really want to learn the ins and outs of the paranormal that nobody talks about, dude, this guy's got it covered. This is what we do. If you want to learn something different, come on, man. It's not all about.
I'm not kissing your ass. We're not.
No, I don't do that shit. It's not my thing. Right? I don't blow smoke up people's ass. I don't believe in that. If I meet somebody real, that's why I wanted to come on your show, because I really respect you, your realness, your energy. That's just what it's all about, man. So
you're gonna be my co-host. Give me a couple of weeks. Come on in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know who the fuck I got. Freddy Krueger's mom, Beatrice.
Holy smokes!
Oh, I've been reaching out to these people. The worst thing they say is no. Some people want money. I talked to Gigi Allen's brother. He's a bass player, Merle Allen, old rock and roll band. He's dead now. I talked to his brother. He wants $100.
Are you not talking about Gigi Allen from fucking Detroit, are you?
No, Littleton, New Hampshire. He used to write his name in shit and carve his name in blood and kill himself.
Gigi Allen was the punk rock guy, right?
Yeah, he's born in New Hampshire. I've been to his grave. Littleton, New Hampshire. I've been to his grave.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking about Tenny earlier, and Gigi Allen's band fucking bailed on him, and Tenny's band back in the day had to back him up. And a lot of people don't know that, but Tenny's band back in the day backed him up.
Shit.
I mean, crazy stuff, you know.
Gigi Allen and the scum fucks, and he had Gigi Allen and the hate fucks, and I mean, I met his mother. I got a selfie with his mom, and I met his brother. Dude,
that guy was off the rocker, but man, he was very popular at the time.
Dude,
punk
he had
rock,
warrants in every state.
Crazy stuff on stage.
Oh my God, you're fucking buddy. Oh, Thomas, now you tell me. You're lucky we don't go another hour. You're lucky they're cutting me off, you son of a bitch. We're gonna get you back. That's wild. I love to. Let's go not tonight, but off screen. Message me. I'd love to come down to Connecticut with Heather and meet you at this meeting.
I'd love to meet both of you guys. You know, so that
we'll set up a table, sell her trinkets. I'll pay whatever the cost. If it's $50, I don't know if you charge $50, but whatever. Let me know. And if I do something in Maine, it's going to be at this place where they shot Graveyard Shift. They give me permission.
Nice.
And and Donnie's going to be there. The truck from Pet Cemetery. I'd love to have you come up to Maine. Come to my house.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that because, man, you're the man, my friend.
You love you,
dude. You got such the great energy, the paranormal. We love it. So, Lauren, fucking loved your show too. Can't wait to see you guys again.
2 minutes left to go. Let's kill it. Let's see. Thomas, drop where people can find you right now. TikTok, YouTube, go. What's the name of the channels? Go.
Archangels of the Paranormal on TikTok and Instagram. Thomas Patrick Gormley on Facebook. Got a lot of stuff coming up. You know, I'd love for you guys to join us just to see what, my partner and I do. Nobody else does it. We want you to learn and embrace the paranormal in a different way. And I just love to see all the people out there, as long as we touch you, whether it be one person, whether it be many people, it doesn't matter. Just want to be there for you, help you out. So we're there for you.
That sounds like an orgy to me. I love it.
It is a great orgy.
A lot of people just want to touch you.
Spiritual orgy in the paranormal, man.
Hey, seriously. We both got buzzes. It's Friday night where we are. We're both 9:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to let you go Historically Haunted. Next week, guys, guess what? I'm actually taking the night off. We're going to the Red Hot Dog Festival in Dexter, Maine. Dexter, Maine's where they shot the opening scene to Creepshow 2, Stephen King's movie, when the guy drives up in the truck and he goes, "Little Timmy, you die if you didn't have the first copy." That's actually Owen Kinghart Owen Hart,
smokes.
Owen Hill King. That's Steve King's son on the bike. And the Creep is Tom Savini, who did all the artwork for Creepshow 2 and Jason, the first Friday the 13th. Tom Savini is awesome.
Wow.
Downtown Dexter. The Red Hot Dog Festival is there. So me and Heather are going to be there. Sorry. Edit.
Good percussion, my friend.
Thomas, we're going to have you on while we're recording, correct? We're going to have you back on with your partner in maybe a month or two?
Yeah, I think that would be important because, I mean, she's like personified energy that you can't explain. When she walks into a room, everybody knows she's there. So.
Like you, brother.
Thanks,
I can't thank you enough for coming on, Tom. You're the
Appreciate
fucking man, dude. I literally look forward. I don't go on TikTok much, but when I do, I look forward to like 3 or 4 people, and you're one of them because you always have something, the music, the energy. Follow him on TikTok, like his shit. Follow him on Facebook, YouTube. Check him out. Because in a year from now, you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's Thomas. He's blowing up. So get a hold of me, brother, off screen. I'm going to get you back on. This hour and a half flew by. I appreciate you, Tom. I fucking do, man. Seriously.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Look at that right here.
Look forward to doing some more things with you. Great talking with you, my friend.
Historically Haunted Vodcast. This will be up on YouTube tomorrow.